Hello guys, this is another ready in 4. The timer is set and today's episode is about migraine. I have suffered from migraine since I was 13. I'm now 28, so I've had it for 15 years. When I first suffered, it kind of came on and off. I didn't track how often it came, but then when I was about 18 onwards, I started tracking it, and I would get migraines usually about 5 to 6 times a month. Now, for those who very luckily do not get migraines for me, they're different for everybody, but they're very different from headaches. So I personally get migraines that affect my vision, my sense of smell, my sense of appetite, and just light. It's incredible. I can't deal with any light whatsoever. Any sort of strong scent, sometimes even really weak scents, will make me want to throw up or actually throw up. I can't deal with loud sounds. And it's something that, like I said, I've suffered from for a really, really long time. I wanted to talk about it here because I don't think it's something that's discussed enough. When I was, gosh, I've forgotten how old I was, but it was in 14 or 15, so I was either 24 or 25, I decided to have LASIK eye surgery because I noticed that whenever I took my contacts out or my glasses off, my migraines would decrease. At the time, I had minus 10.5 vision and I had slight astigmatism, so I already had pretty bad vision. And after the migraines, from about 6 or 7 a month, I started having about 3 a month or 2 a month, and now it's kind of like 1, 2, 3 if I'm not mitigating other factors. So for me, I need to make sure that I'm sleeping really well. I need to make sure that my stress is as low as possible, and I need to make sure that my diet is on point. Whenever I'm eating, I also have IBS, so whenever I'm eating anything that's badly triggering my stomach, my mind tends to go. And if you know anything about the brain-gut axis, if not, I highly suggest you Google it. It's fascinating. You would know that there is quite a big connection there. Yesterday was the first day in a really long time that I had to be hospitalized due to migraine. So I actually went to the office in the morning. I woke up and it was just a headache. I thought it was just a headache. So I didn't take any medication. I don't take any if it's not a migraine. Got ready for work, headed to the office, and in the 25 minutes that it took me to get to my office, it had flared into a really awful migraine. I tried to wait it out in a dark room in the office for about half an hour having taken my medication, but it was only getting worse and I actually could not drive, so I waited to have someone come pick me up, and then I went home. I tried to sleep for about, I would say, 3 or 4 hours, and then I was just in incredible amounts of pain. I called my father and I said, you either kill me or you give me an injection, because that's the level of pain that I was at. And I'm someone who has quite a high pain threshold according to most doctors, and I think that I do as well. So it was really shocking for me to be in that position. I went to the hospital and I was put on an IV drip, and the medication came through the IV drip. So I was there for 2 hours. And then I came home, had some other medication to take, and had something to eat. For me, starchy, flavorless things are the best things to have when I'm having a migraine, so I usually opt for rice. So I had some rice with some yogurt, and I added a few hemp seeds on top because that's still pretty bland and would be good for protein and omegas. So I did that, and then I went to sleep, and I thought I was going to wake up a few hours later, but I actually slept for 12 hours until 7 o'clock this morning, and that's my 4 minutes, but I feel like I need to keep going. Maybe this is not going to be a ready in 4. Yeah, so I slept until 7 o'clock this morning and woke up, and my breakfast was actually the same thing again, but with a side of chicken, grilled chicken. And I think that we don't talk about it enough. I mean, I know that for me, I've been working now for 6 years. I finished university 6 years ago. And I know that, especially when you say migraine to a lot of people, they think it's a headache and they kind of brush it aside and think that you're not trying hard enough. Whereas I often go to work having a migraine, if my symptoms allow and if I've taken enough pills. I think chronic pain in general is something that's not easily understood. Sometimes it's more forgiven, so to speak, when you are a really good employee, and people like your work and respect you, but it's still kind of seen as a, like, what's she doing kind of thing. And that's always just really hard. And I think that in general, I don't know, I feel like I've never really had someone to talk to about it. So more of my what I say in-laws, so my dad's wife, her family have a lot of history of migraine, and my dad's side of the family actually in Iraq also have history of migraine. So whenever I'm with them, I do kind of tend to talk about it. But here in Bahrain, like, most people don't really understand it, kind of brush it off, that I know, and that's always been really hard as well, because you're made to feel like you shouldn't be in as much pain as you are, but it's because most people don't actually understand what you're going through, and they compare their headache to your migraine, and they're two completely different things. One book I'd really recommend, so if you guys didn't know, I'm actually a psychologist by degree. I went to the University of St Andrews, and I'm really always interested in the neurological aspects, the psychological aspects, and a book that I have been reading that is absolutely phenomenal is Migraine by Oliver Sacks. And Oliver Sacks is the best-selling author, the late best-selling author. It makes me incredibly sad that he passed away a couple of years ago. But he wrote The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. That's the book he's most famous for. And he writes, and in Migraine, it's just a fascinating read for anyone who does have migraine. And there are so many things that I have highlighted. Like, if I literally just flip to any page, and just look at something that I've highlighted, for instance, right here. I don't know if that's focusing for you guys. So, for about half an hour, one series of ideas forced themselves involuntarily on my mind. I could not free myself from the strange ideas which existed in my head. I endeavored to speak, but found that I spoke uniformly words other than those that I had intended. And it's just, oh my god. Feelings of ego dissolution readily and promptly occur if there is serious disorder or instability of body image, external perception, or time perception. And all of these, as we have seen, may occur during the course of a migraine aura, which has definitely been my experience. This is also really interesting. Amongst the strangest and most intense symptoms of migraine aura, and the most difficult of description or analysis, are the occurrence of feelings of sudden familiarity and certitude, déjà vu, or its opposite, feelings of sudden strangeness and unfamiliarity, jamais vu. And I just find that that's really true for me. Like, sometimes I just go in complete delirious states. I feel so certain about so many things. I can make some like pretty drastic life decisions when I'm in the middle of a migraine, and feel so certain about it. And sometimes, like, I do carry those through when I've got my like mental faculties back, basically. But I don't know, I just kind of wanted to chat about it because yesterday was truly awful. I still actually have a migraine right now, but because I'm taking my medication, it's a little bit more bearable. And because I'm basically just sitting around at home, I'm reading, and I'm going to be on the phone with a friend for a little while to kind of try and distract me, because I can't be on my computer. What I'd love to be doing right now is editing videos for you guys, but I can't be on my computer. So I've just decided, yeah, I don't know, I just decided to film this. If you do suffer from migraines, please write me a comment down below. Let me know what it feels like for you, what experiences you go through, what difficulties you have, and what works for you. Especially any kind of lifestyle changes, I'd be really interested to know. And if you don't have migraine, then thank you for watching. Please be kind to people who do. It really is not a fun disease. Like, lots of doctors that I know and lots of neuroscientists that I've spoken to have said that they think that it's one of the worst diseases in the world, and one that's so routinely overlooked. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon, and I hope you enjoyed my other videos, and I will link a couple to you after this end screen. Please like this video if you have liked it. It helps other people find the video, and subscribe when you see the thing pop up. Thank you, bye!